welcome to another episode of Toonkind at 12 FPS. I am Hexabeast, normally known just as Hex, and today I am going to be playing Baph, who is a scared little rubber hose goat, and I am joined today by...
I'm Ollie. I will be playing both Frank, who is, just a dude, and Wendy, Frank's warlock, because Frank is technically her patron.
Yeah, oh, I'm so excited. Let me upload this title card, because, oh, I'm excited. So, this, for a little bit of backstory, because I haven't, at the time of recording this, the audio is not up. This takes place after Little Shop of Terrors, which details Baph, Wendy, and three others, Goose, Moppet, and Benny, who all had to go through Baph's now overgrown garden to retrieve a box. And they subsequently broke that box, but that stopped the garden from growing. But everything's kind of destroyed. So that's your brief, like, how this is gonna go. Um, right now, Baph and Wendy are they're still at this house because it at Baph's like destroyed shop because the house part is still at least pretty intact. But the shop and the garden are they're not great. And so Baph at least has been cleaning and try like Baph has been pretty meticulously like pruning her still alive flora to try and save what she can while also trying to repair this broken shop front. And what's Wendy been doing this whole time?
Wendy, Wendy's helping in her own way. But right now, because she's kind of rattled from everything that happened,
Mm-hmm.
uh, sorry, could you hear my dog?
Yes, I did. Hi, Igor.
Wendy is in front of the shop door, kind of sitting on a stool that's like kind of busted, so it's wiggling a little, but it's serviceable. But she is basically being a guard dog, despite
Oh,
any attempts to like ask her to do something else or even just take a break. Like that's where she's been.
oh, Wendy. Yeah, Baph has definitely at least asked her to like sweep a little bit, and if she's there's like a broom probably propped up next to her, just
On top of her.
and just waiting. And Baph just, um, okay, that's yeah, okay. Well, whenever you want to sweep, it's there, I guess. Because she's just, yep, that's Wendy being Wendy, I guess. That's Baph basically just kind of props a broom up against Wendy. And is Wendy even awake right now? Is she present in this reality or is she just kind of off?
I'd say she's kind of off, like not quite asleep, but like zoning out pretty hardcore.
Yeah, okay. Baph at least like that's she's been there, so she kind of leaves her to that zoning and is actually going to step outside with with a pair of little clippers to kind of like resume pruning back, the dead bits of the garden as she's
Mm.
doing all of that because let Wendy be for right now. Poor girl.
Wendy's got to process her bit.
Everything that Wendy's got to process things that happened because Baph got really hurt. I didn't mention it in the game. Baph dropped to like 6 hit points in that game, so she got really close to death. And yeah,
It's
it's okay now.
bad.
It's okay now. Everything's fine. But at the time, it was not fine. And Baph has been busying herself pretty much since to not think about that.
I mean, that's about what I would do, yeah.
Yeah.
This didn't happen. All right, just gonna
Nope.
pack that away.
We're gonna just store that in here in the vault and never address it. Yeah.
Ever, and
And
it'll be fine.
it'll be fine. That's what she's doing right now as she's, just quietly like pruning around in her garden.
How do I want to bring in? I'm gonna say that. Okay, I'm gonna say that Bath is like pruning one kind of like particularly kind of weirdly frayed bit of plant matter, and underneath it, Frank is just asleep.
And she almost jumps back. Like she has that and then oh
He's still asleep.
fr- she kind of stares at him a minute because I don't think she's ever seen him sleep. But
Oh, okay, he has. I'm sorry, I have to be a shitlord and do this. He's in the Family Guy corpse pose in that little hovel.
oh no.
Because, like, okay, part of the thing with Frank is that he really wants to take part in battles, but he can't because if he gets really fucked up, then so does Wendy. And it would be a bad situation. So he kind of tries to hide, but still keep an eye on things. And he just fell asleep.
Yeah.
Like once he saw everything was okay, he like stopped panicking and basically just conked out.
Oh my god. Beth, like has that mild like Frank, and she very care because he's like this is a plant that needs trimmed back pretty hard, and so like she kind of hesitantly like reaches over and like shakes his shoulder because he's got to move.
He is stone still.
F- Frank, Frank, and she shakes him a little harder.
He sits up straight and he screams.
Baph does that and then falls over flat. Like she falls just flat on her back.
I'm sorry, but I'm just like, okay, I need to play this in like the most like goofy ass way.
Yes. She throws the freaking little clippers. They miss Frank, thankfully, but she throws them and falls over. That is how this happens. And now
That's a good thing I didn't roll HP for Frank.
She is laying now flat on her back, staring up at the sky, just.
Okay, let me get into the character voice because this is not going to be a good impression. I want
I
you to know
don't
this is
care. I'm so excited.
not going to sound anything like it.
I don't care.
Okay. Kid, you woke me up. What are you doing out here?
What are you doing in my plants? She's still face down, or she's still on the floor. Just.
Hang on. Are you okay?
I.
Do you, I mean, I'm like a foot tall. I can't help you up. I'm sorry. I can't help you up.
I. Are you? You. She points angrily at him for a second, and then.
He just like slowly picks up the pliers or not pliers, trimmers. It's just like, well, unconventional choice, but I'll give you like a 7 out of 10. Docked off a couple points because the edges are a bit blunt, but pretty good.
What?
I mean, you use these as a weapon, right? These.
No. She sits up finally. She's just sitting on the floor staring at Frank. They're probably eye level right now.
He like turns them upside down and just kind of like jams them into the dirt, but he can use it as like an armrest.
Oh, thank you so much. She just, No, they're clippers. They, for trimming things, like dead plants. And she gestures at this bush that he'd been in that is still pretty, like, in need of trimming. Just,
Oh, listen, kid, I don't know anything about gardening. Do I look like the type who would garden?
uh,
I'm just kidding with you. Are you okay though?
uh,
Like, really, are you okay? How are you
I,
feeling?
I'm fine. I'm fine. And she stands up and, uh, actually, I should probably roll deception for that, but or should Frank roll ins? I don't know.
Roll deception, and I'm just gonna say that she's gonna pass like a pretty high
Cool.
bar.
Cool. Is that, yeah, I have the correct character sheet. That's a nat 1. Um so Baph has that, like, basically, if the first time he asks, "Are you fine?" she goes, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine." And she had kind of meant that in like a, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then the more he asked, it became apparent of, "No, like, are you legitimately okay?" And that "I'm fine" is just, she is not, like, she is definitely not, like, she, the minute that it became clear that he was asking that, she stopped looking at him.
Oh,
So she stands up and kind of dusts herself off and just, "Yeah, I'm fine. Just, you know, figured I'd prune a bit more while we've got daylight still." And she looks at her clippers, which Frank is still leaning on, but she doesn't move to grab them yet.
oh. Okay. Let me figure out how to more easily do this because my voice is all over the place.
Don't, yeah, don't, like, don't hurt your throat or anything, please.
I'm just gonna hold my nose. How about that?
Okay.
How does this sound?
Yeah, sure.
Listen, I usually Wendy has started cracking up at that point, and I don't really have to follow my jokes through to their logical conclusion. So, uh, sorry if I kind of threw you off there. I thought that would make you laugh or something, but I can see it's a little bit more serious than that, huh?
What? Um, what? What? I. And she kind of actually looks back at him like she doesn't want to talk about that. Like, uh,
He like he dusts himself off and like tries to get like he tries to be cool, he tries to be sweet, he tries to get the shears that he jammed into the ground right back up, and he cannot. So he just kind of tugs on one end and is like, "Okay, no, this isn't happening. I'm sorry." And like goes over and pats her on the leg. It's like, so if you don't want to talk about it, do you need help around the shop?
um, I mean, I, well, yeah, but I mean, Wendy's kind of not here right now. Um, she just kind of plucks her shears out of, or the clippers out of the dirt easily once he's hopped away from them. um,
I loosened those up for you. Don't forget that.
yeah, I'm sure you did. Yes, thank you. Just the driest delivery. Um, she's trying to very much say, like, not say like, "Frank, what can you do?" But she's kind of trying to, like, subtly imply, like, "Frank, what can you do to help? Because you are you." Like, um,
Frank's gonna play dumb. I'm gonna say Frank knows what she's doing, but is just gonna make her say it. So he
oh
just kind
no,
of follows along behind her, like with his like arms crossed behind his tiny, tiny back, and just kind of accompanies her, like just
oh
doesn't
no,
let her be alone,
oh
basically, and is
no,
cracking the worst jokes he can.
oh no, oh no. She so she basically, like, she kind of starts by just like trying to, she starts resuming like pruning back some of the bushes and stuff. And then when there's some parts that she can't quite like reach, she would probably at least like ask Frank or hand them to Frank, because I mean they're sharp. He could probably he could trim like some dead branches, but she would hand them to him and can like have him climb up and like trim certain dead like bits off of a tree. Um,
Oh, that's sweet, honestly. Like he could get into the little places like she can't.
yeah.
And to some of the taller ones too, honestly.
And I am desperately trying to think of dumb jokes he can make, and I can't because my brain is not that witty. But she's like, um,
I
how?
was really certain I could come up with more puns than this, but my brain
No,
immediately
it's
went
fine.
blank when I got put on the spot.
No, it's okay. It's fine. He's making horrible jokes this whole time, and they're not even like some of them aren't even like good.
Oh no, the worse the better, honestly.
Oh,
Like
jeez.
the lowest hanging fruit he can find, like on the floor sometimes.
she, she puts him up in the tree or helps him into the tree and is just, wow, I didn't know you wanted me to leave you alone that bad. Like,
He like climbs up onto like a tree branch and is like, "Hey, look, I'm branching out," and then falls off, and he's just like, "I'm okay, I'm fine."
Beth had initially like humored him, like just a couple of chuckles, like yeah, okay, Frank is cracking jokes, this is fine. And then the more it went on, because she's still steadfastly just not thinking and not working, it became actually I think I need her to roll insight to figure out what he's doing.
uh,
Or would it be what would you say?
I have like yeah, insider perception.
Let me do, well, they're both a 0, so hey, it doesn't matter. That's a
So
4. So,
I'm gonna say that doesn't pass.
yeah. As far as she is concerned, Frank, well, actually, what would she get from that in terms of like what Frank is doing?
um, all she would really get at that point is that he's kind of glued to her side, like just not really letting her be alone when he can.
Eh,
Like, I
okay.
think that would be about all she could get from that.
Okay. All right. She's it's like eventually gon she's going to like her demeanor is going to kind of start to shift a little subtle, like a little bit from that like okay, yeah, this is fine, I'm just gonna do like I'm just working, to now I am actively trying to not think about something, and now I am actively trying to not think about something and I'm getting a little annoyed. And uh she's also trying to figure out something that Frank can do, but she can't think of anything that a foot tall like deity can do around her house, because Frank
It's
has made it very apparent that he can't do
he cannot do much. Like he may be a deity, but he's not an especially powerful one, and so like
yeah. So like she can't ask him to like, here, can you like help pick up this debris because most of it is his size, and she can't ask him to
but
sweep because the broom is d- d- you know.
but the thing is, does she actually ask him, or does she just assume she can't?
She's actually like based on the display with those shears, she's kind of assuming that he just like can't. But she does start picking up bits of rock around, and like she's getting the bigger ones so that if he feels like helping, he can.
I mean, he's actively trying to help, like,
Okay.
but he's not totally helpless. He can't do things like float everything to the side and make the place magically be
Yeah.
clean, like, but he can pick up like more than you'd think.
Baph
But
doesn't know
he just,
that.
yeah, no, she doesn't. And so he's like trying to help, and he's being in sort of a dumbass because like he isn't being like, hey, I can help you with this. Look how I can help you with this. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's just being a mother hen, is what he's doing.
And Beth hasn't realized that bit either, only that he's not leaving her alone.
Communication problems. Because like he was afraid because I would say that he would be able to like tell not exactly how low her HP got, but that it got low.
Oh,
So
so he's well aware that she got pretty close.
yeah, like he couldn't tell you a number, but it didn't sound great.
It's oh, oh, yeah, okay, that's fair, that's fair. Um, Bath, uh, Bath actually, after a moment of kind of just trying to sweep things around, uh, glances back at the shop, and she's still kind of annoyed, but like the quiet is finally getting to her. And she's just so how long how long's Wendy gonna sit at the door like that before she stops?
I'm gonna say like Frank leans against like something sturdy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like it 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 depends. It's been a long time since there's been anything this bad, so she's taking her time because I don't know if you've noticed, but Wendy is not exactly the best at processing those things. Like
Um, I
it is either full throttle or it is shut down, and right now it is shut down.
oh oh
That's just how she deals with it.
oh
She'll be okay.
oh okay.
I I've been checking in on her. Don't worry.
That okay. So at that actually, Bath's shoulders kind of like, oh, like that's a relief because she doesn't know how to deal with this. This is beyond her wheelhouse. Uh, and she that's okay. That's good. That's good. Uh, I'm glad that I'm glad you're doing that. Although I guess it's kind of your job. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I'm the one who gives Wendy a paycheck. She doesn't pay me, but it kind of is, I guess.
but
Hey, I think he's gonna like just. I don't know if he'd exactly like. He wouldn't try to slap her too hard, but he kind of tries to do an awkward like arm pat. It's like we should go sit down.
what? So Bath actually jumps. Like what? Um,
We should go sit down. You haven't taken a break
I'm
all day.
no, I'm fine. I'm fine.
No, you're gonna go sit down, is
Uh,
what you're gonna do.
and she kind of looks a little indignant at that. Just no, like I'm okay to keep like I just want to sweep this up. It's fine. I'm okay. I can.
Do you realize you've been sweeping the same place for the past, like, oh, 10 minutes?
She looks down and then it, it just keeps moving on to the next spot. I was talking to you, okay? You're distracting me.
It's like, how in the heck do I talk to her? It's like, these all work on Wendy. Why are they not working on Baph? What is happening?
What is happening? Why does Baph have a different personality?
I mean, kind of.
But she just, no, I'm fine. I, I want to get this done, and I'm okay. I don't need a break yet. I'm okay. She, me actually, that is another one of these. That is the wrong. Wow, that's incorrect. Thanks, Dice Parser. Let's try that again.
A nun dice.
A nun dice with left 5. Jesus Christ! That's another
Holy
one!
shit.
Dice Parser, what are you doing? So, when Baph says, I'm fine, I'm not tired. Frank, at least. That's it. It knows she's talking to a fucking god. Frank can tell she is not fine. She is deaf. She's been on her feet probably basically since sun up. Like, she stopped long enough to eat once and then periodically check on Wendy to make sure, like, Wendy's eating, but she hasn't stopped otherwise.
God.
And she's very, like, I mean, she's pure black and white, so there's no, like, bags under her eyes or anything, but just, like, in her pose and in her, like, just in her kind of general tone, it's very clear she's tired.
Oh. I'm trying to think how exactly Frank can get her to stop for a second. Because I kind of like the idea of Wendy's conked out.
Aw,
Like,
yeah. Wendy's dealing with it in her own way. Baph is also dealing with it in her own way, but it's not great.
yeah, no. Neither of them are really.
Yeah.
Okay. I might have Frank pull a sort of like, all right, I don't like doing this. I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna pull the like I'm actually a deity, so you can't just walk away from me type of thing.
Oh
But
boy.
not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
It's like a
He
dad
basically
voice kind of thing. Is it?
it no, it's
Oh,
honestly so he disappears for a second.
okay.
And then the next thing Beth knows, there is a literal rain of pillows on top of her. Um, sorry, now I have to let the dog out.
It's fine.
So it's more than you would think that a tiny ass mouse should be able to pick up and, drop on somebody's head. But that's kind of what's happening. And Frank,
Baph makes a terrified, like, and then again, and then is just buried under all these pillows.
Frank's somewhere in that pillow mix. And he's like, I'm not gonna make you stay in here unless you want to, but you need to rest. You're
And
about to fall over out there, and don't. I mean, come on, kid. I'm a god. I can tell when you're lying.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
He's not trying to. I worry that comes across as like a bad thing, but Frank's
No.
genuinely not trying to scare her.
I'm
Like,
well
Frank
aware
is
of that. I'm actually, let me.
like...
Okay. Yeah,
Oh
all
my
right, Dice
god.
Parser. Uh, that was, that was Baph to roll to see how well she held on to her temper. So,
Great, cool,
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, she held on to it actually pretty well, but she still rounds, like, she shoves her way out of this pillow pile and is just, like, that annoyance is now very clearly anger, and she's just, I don't, I don't need to rest. I'm okay. I just, and her hands are like starting to shake. She's lost the broom somewhere. She doesn't know where it is.
Oh.
It's in the pillow pile. She's not going back in there to get it, but she's like very like angrily looking, glaring at this pile at Frank. And he also, because I'm not gonna make you roll for this, but he can like hear there's a bit of desperation in her voice when she says that, of like, just, I don't want to stop. If I like, I want to keep working. This is, I don't want to do other things right now, please. But
I like how this FPS so far has basically been these two dorks not actually communicating, but like
yes,
trying to help in their own way.
communication is a learned skill, and they're learning right now.
Yeah, they're in the thick of it right now because neither of them are getting through to each other.
Nope.
But that makes sense for what they, what they go through because Baph is very much not like Wendy, and
Yeah.
Frank kind of needs to, get his shit together too. Like,
Deadbeat deity.
he's
Except not, but you
not
know.
trying to be.
I know. I love him. I love Frank so much.
I think Frank's gonna like sort of huff and puff his way out of the pillow pile because he's gonna get buried pretty deep in there. He didn't plan that part out.
Of course he didn't.
And he kind of like rolls onto his back onto the ground and is like just huffs and annoyance and is like, kid, I don't know what to do. I'm trying to help you feel better and I can tell you're not okay, but I don't know what to do to help. Let me help you, please.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Like
Uh.
he's getting visibly like a little frustrated too because he doesn't want to like do the thing where he like makes her sit down or whatever because that's shitty, but
Yeah.
at the same time he's like massively concerned.
Yeah. Uh. Hmm. Ooh. I have to, because like, Baph is still like, she's gotten used to Frank, but the fact that he's still a god is still kind of nerve-wracking a little bit. So she she kind of like, a lot of some of that annoyance kind of withers when he starts sounding frustrated, but she's still like, so she actually she she actually says, I don't I don't need help. I'm okay. I've gotten this far on my own. I'm fine.
Oh,
And like, she doesn't have anything in her hands anymore, so she's just like nervously fiddling cuz she doesn't know what to do, and then eventually she just shoves them in her pockets.
oh,
And
Beth.
and and she comes back out with a lighter and a pack of cigarettes.
Oh, we reached the cigarette point.
Yep.
I think so she just kind of standing out there or sitting out there just kind of
She's standing away from the pile now, and
hmm
she basically just, she told Frank, I don't need help. I've gotten this far on my own. And then she's kind of turned away and started, messing with the lighter and trying to like light a cigarette, cuz she needs to calm down. She's getting way too angry and antsy.
oh uh I don't think that Wendy's ever said anything like that to Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond when they like first met. Um, but he just kind of shuffles onto his side, I guess, and just kind of like contemplates the pillow pile in silence. And then there's just this like shuffling they can both hear,
Mm-hmm.
and Wendy's just kind of standing there blearily because all the commotion kind of roused her out of it a little bit. But she
Aww.
doesn't acknowledge either of them. She like sweeps the blanket around, kind of pats Baph's back as she walks by and just passes out face first in his pillows.
And Baph sees Wendy and starts to like, oh, are you? Oh, are you? Oh,
There is a loud snoring sound.
oh, oh, okay. She just kind of she she actually like gives this fond little smile at that. Just oh, good. She's resting. That's good. That's good. She takes a
God.
slow drag of her cigarette. Just okay. That's
Um, do you mind if we pause for a second?
yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm back.
Hooray!
So I, Frank gets up and just kind of like pats Wendy on the back and then leans back against the pillows himself and is like, "Look, I'm sorry. I pushed that a little farther than I should have. It's I got really used to Wendy being open book and I shouldn't have gone at your book with a hammer. That got away from me, but I'm hoping you get what I mean by that."
She Baff Baff kind of fiddles with the lighter a bit, and then just yeah, I get yeah, that makes I get it. It's yeah. I should make a note point. Baff has never smoked. Like she has never let on that she smokes prior to this.
I mean, secret's safe with Frank, but
Yeah, but
like, I think all he does is raise an eyebrow.
it's fine. I just an important thing to note. She's never been this stressed before, so.
Oh,
Uh, but she just kind of like shuffles in place from hoof to hoof. Like it's fine, I guess. I don't want to. I I I I don't want to. She's and she's very visibly like getting frustrated because this is emotions and emotions are hard.
yeah.
I don't. I'm. I nor I I normally deal with this stuff myself, and it's just this is this is new. This is all new.
That's understandable.
She
Uh,
she kind of looks at Frank like what, and that like understandable, but she
did
doesn't.
she push it or?
Uh, I'm. Does she push it? Um.
Because I think he would have said it in a really casual way, like,
Ooh. Does she push it? Yes, she kind of does. Like, just under. She kind of gives him a curious, like, kind of surprised and like not accusatory, but just to understand. What do you like? Because he'd literally just been apologizing for not understing, so she's a little confused.
yeah. I think even Frank would just like not get why she's being confused there for a second, and it's just like, oh, the way I worded that, yeah. It's hard for me to understand people who maybe didn't always have that easy of an access to their emotions. I'm kind of honestly shocked Wendy is that open about her emotions, but there you go.
And okay, that uh Baph doesn't know how to respond to that one. Just she's torn between, do I get offended or do I she she kind of stares at Frank for a long moment, like just that's really she's just staring at him for a minute because what
He
is
starts like checking if he's got something on his face or
she, after a minute, uh, she kind of snorts, just okay, and she doesn't go sit on the pillow pile. She just kind of like sits on the. She doesn't even sit. She just kind of squats on the ground, like
hmm
right where
slap
she
squat.
is. Yeah, she just kind of slop squats right there, uh, and just I I I'll look, I, look, Frank. I'll I'll be okay. Okay, I'll be fine. I like to work. It helps me think.
Does it help you like process the emotions, or because whenever Wendy does that, it's usually when something is wrong, severely wrong.
Um, she doesn't quite know how to respond to that one because um because what she didn't say was it helps me not think about things because I don't want to. Um,
I'm so sorry that Frank is not making this easier for Beth
no,
because
it's he needs to make it difficult. This poor goat needs to learn. Um, she uh she oh my god. She kind of thinks a moment and then it uh it I don't know. It's I guess it's an old habit. Uh I just think better when I I it's easier to just kind of not think and let everything happen for a minute and then come back to it later. I she's I don't think that makes sense. That doesn't make sense. It I don't know. I don't know. I've never had to talk to anybody about anything before. I'm not used to the whole like I don't know if you've noticed, I'm not used to the whole having friends thing.
I've noticed. And then he realizes how that sounds, and he's like, "Whoa, I didn't mean it that way."
She crosses her
No,
arms at that like
kid, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way. Like as soon as he says it, he's just like, "Oh shit, okay, no, wait, backtrack."
she just yeah, yeah. Wasn't I yeah.
He just like looks over back at Wendy and is like, "Listen, I'm not going to press the issue, and I'm not exactly making things clear on my end either. But know that when you do come back to it, and you just have people rooting for you, just know that." Okay.
And ooh, uh, she kind of looks at Frank and then looks at Wendy and stares down, kind of flicks her cigarette a minute, and yeah, 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 that's, I'm glad I have that, I guess. And she, she had looked tired before, and now she looks exhausted. And she kind of glances over at how dark it's starting to get out, and finally just, yeah, okay, I guess I probably should stop for the day then. And she stands up after a minute and walks over to the pillow pile and Frank and Wendy and just kind of awkwardly like, how do I mound of pillows?
Frank steps aside and is just like, just T-pose and then fall down. It'll come to you naturally.
What? she, she gives him actually kind of a funny look at that, like, I, oh, she just does exactly that. She holds her arms out and then just kind of face plants into the pillows.
I I should have told you you didn't need a T-pose, but I mean, I think it's more fun.
She just makes a at him, like, it was supposed to be a grunt, but she's muffled, so she had to, it's more of a snort.
Oh.
She rolls over, so she's fine. She's staring up, and it's just, yeah, I should have figured that from you, but I guess this is. Are we gonna? Hmm. Hmm.
Are we gonna sleep out here? Yes, yes we are. Because I
Oh.
don't think it's gonna rain.
Oh.
Unless you want more pillows, then I can make it rain.
Uh. No, and don't. I don't want to know where you got all those pillows.
You sure don't.
I... She raises a finger, mouth open, and then just slowly puts it back down. Yeah, and she looks over to Wendy, smiles again, and then, uh, I, yeah, yeah, okay.
She just keeps sinking into the pile as she's saying that, just kind of like.
Yep, she is slowly being absorbed by this mound of pillows, and it's very clear she wants to say something to Frank, but like her brain is not like cooperating with her right now.
Oh, it's kind of a mission accomplished for him. He
it
got her
really,
to rest.
it really is. He did. He got the job done, and he he figured it out. Well, he kind of figured it out, but
Meanwhile, to himself, he's like, I have got to figure out how to talk to people.
I have got to learn how to talk to this goat. Oh my god.
She's gonna be nearly as easy a nut to crack.
Nope. She finally like stubs the cigarette, like she finishes it, flicks the butt away, and is just. Hey Frank,
Mm,
thanks, I guess.
no problem, I guess. Just don't mention it. Seriously, kid, don't mention it.
Yeah.
there might be a notice about missing pillows. Just
And
don't
she
miss don't mention it.
she just shakes her head, just, yeah, I figured that's how this life is gone. That's how this life is going. But
Listen, I'm like Robin Hood. Look, listen, you don't need to know where these came from. Just know, like, he keeps incriminating himself as he's talking, trying to clear his name. But he's just like, I'll be standing here. Don't worry. Just rest easy.
as he keeps talking, actually, I imagine just Baph like flops a hand out of the pile and starts like slapping it at him, like, you're really like. And she actually, because she's getting tired enough, she actually just says, first rule of doing anything illegal is just stop talking.
I think he just straight up starts laughing. Just like throws a pillow at her and goes and sits down.
And she just very tiredly, like, it's fine. And she's,
It's very sweet and very them at the same time.
yes, and she's starting to fall asleep finally.
Aw. I imagine Wendy's off to the side making little running motions with her paws in her sleep.
Oh no, sweet baby, I love it. Yes, I'm so
um,
glad.
is is Baph asleep by this point?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, cool. Um, I really don't want to push the God thing too far, but I do think a fair amount of that debris is gonna be just gone by the time Beth wakes up.
Oh,
And
yay!
like Frank's gonna be asleep face down in a flower bed at some point because he's the type to just be like, "Well, that looks soft," and just like flop down.
Frank, please, but also
This
yes.
the disaster patron.
I love him so much. And when Baph wakes up in the morning, she's gonna find Frank asleep and just look around at the cleaner ruined shop front.
Like
And
it's not perfect, but like
no, but it's a lot of the work that she was trying to get done is now done. And she's gonna just like carefully pick Frank back up and put him in the pillow pile next to Wendy.
I've got the idea. Like I know that she would like pick him up and just gently lift him over there. But I had the visual of her doing like a fastball special with Frank, just like eating
She would not do that, but oh my
him.
god.
I mean, Wendy would.
That's Wendy. Oh my god. Absolutely
That's really
incredible.
sweet.
Yeah. And I think that's where we'll call it.
Oh, oh man, that was good. I am
Yeah.
sorry if I seemed awkward, but I also really wanted to get like
No.
Frank's awkward.
Yeah,
Like
no, it was fine. Like, it was two awkward people trying to, like, awkward through their own emotions and not knowing how, because, emotions are hard, yo.
two very different people, like trying to process those.
Yeah, exactly.